I'm Donna Blanchard, and this is your ThinkTech news for Wednesday, October 14th, 2015. After 15 days of rule in Kunduz, Afghanistan, the Taliban was moved out by Afghan troops with U.S. support. But while they were there, they may have caused some lasting damage against women. In a methodical campaign, the Taliban relentlessly hounded women with any sort of public profile, destroying and looting offices and schools that protected and supported women. Because of the threat and violence, educated women who were activists, school administrators, and key employees of the government and international organizations have fled the city and show no signs of returning. Dr. Hasina Sarwari, the Kunduz province director for Women for Afghan Women, which ran a shelter for abused women and a family guidance center, said, "I won't go back. I will never go back." Though U.S. troops are being systematically moved out in light of the Taliban takeover of Kunduz, senior officials say that President Obama appears increasingly willing to keep a force in Afghanistan large enough to carry on the hunt for al-Qaeda and the Islamic State militants. Responding to widespread accusations that Russian warplanes are targeting practically every group opposed to the Syrian government except the Islamic State, Russian President Vladimir Putin said, "Recently we have offered to the Americans, give us objects we shouldn't target." Again, no answer. He said, "It seems to me that some of our partners have mush for brains." No, he didn't. U.S. officials claimed last week that they had shared coordinates of ISIL locations that should be attacked, but those were ignored. Defense and military officials have now privately described a reluctance to work with Russia as a trust issue, as they might use coordinates to target the groups the Americans do not want attacked. There is no one guiding the young rebels in Palestine who are killing Israelis. Instead, they are responding to urgings posted on social media. Most of the violence has been limited to stabbings. A common story is that a 19-year-old man stabbed an Israeli one morning in response to social media urging. An expert on Arab social media at the Institute for National Security Studies in Tel Aviv, or at Perlov, said, "What we see now is like an octopus with many hands but no brain. You don't need something sophisticated. We're talking about 15-year-old boys. You just write the word 'it' and 'stab' in Arabic, and then whoever has a knife in his house and wants to go, that's it." This uprising has a very different character than the Second Palestinian Intifada, which had orchestrated suicide bombings. This uprising consists of spontaneous outbursts by individuals unaffiliated with any formal political movement. We all know that the question of Mrs. Clinton's public versus private emails while she was Secretary of State have haunted her during her presidential campaign. At last night's Democratic candidate debate, moderator Anderson Cooper questioned her about the fiasco. She said she made a mistake and defended her judgment. Clinton's greatest competition, Bernie Sanders, was given focus next. He could have heaped some more doubt on her judgment, but instead he said, "Let me say something that may not be great politics, but I think the secretary is right, and that is that the American people are sick and tired of hearing about your damn emails." Mrs. Clinton thanked him, and he received a standing ovation from the crowd. Donna Blanchard, ThinkTech Daily News. Ahui ho, everyone.